Welcome back to Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Time for part 2, chapter 1, where we get Braum and Nefini, or Nefini, or whatever, however you pronounce her name. Um, so, I guess I'll start out just talking about the two of them, since once again we have nothing but new units in our party. Nefini is her stats right now are not particularly impressive, at least with respect to this chapter. This is partially because she's weighed down by 3 by her steel great lance, so her speed is only 17 rather than 20. And just going through the enemies, there's so she doubles this, or sorry, no, I should say is okay. Anybody with 16, 15, or 14 speed are enemies that she would double if she wasn't weighed down, but she doesn't because she is. So this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, that she doubles anyway, but this guy, she doubles anyway, this guy, yeah, so there's quite a few. Now, in fairness, some of the enemies she actually doesn't necessarily want to double, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but basically the point is that she doesn't like play as strongly in this chapter as she can later in part 2, because you can give her just like a steel lance, or potentially have her get some strength level ups and be able to put her speed to better use. So beyond that, I mean her strength, as is sort of implied by the fact that she's being weighed down, her strength is on the low side. Her bulk is all right. She has particularly high resistance, which isn't very relevant in this chapter, but might be relevant later. In part 2, I honestly don't actually remember. But she's along with Marcia, so last chapter, I mentioned that I wasn't really sure whether Marcia actually was worth training, but I basically fed her all the kills anyway because it's either her or Neolucci, and Neolucci isn't going to gain any experience anyway, so why not? There's a similar thing kind of going on with Nefini, where she's at least going to get some kills because I might as well train her because there's not like a lot of options in part 2, and she does join the Kill Mercenaries during part 3, so it's possible that I could end up using her. Growth rate wise, she has 70 skill and 65 speed, which are good, but everything else is pretty underwhelming. 35 strength, 35 defense, 45 resistance. No, that's actually, I mean, the fact that she can cap resistance is relevant because for bonus experience abuse, of course. 55 HP. No, that's Neolucci, sorry. 45 HP. Anyway, so yeah, her physical stats aside from speed are not too impressive. So in order for her to really get good, I think bonus experience abuse might be necessary, but we'll see. And then we've got Braum, who, like Jill, forgot how to use weapons between games, although at least in this case they actually talk about it, I guess, so he just decided to switch. But it's still funny that it's not like, oh, now I have an axe. It's like, I lances, what are those? I don't know how to use those, even though in the last game you couldn't use axes at all, and lance is the primary weapon and sword is the secondary weapon. Now axe is the primary weapon. weapon. Sword is a secondary weapon. It's goofy, but I mean, obviously it's because they changed like how the class system works, and they wanted to have some variety in the weapon types used by the different generals. You already have Gatry and Toraneo both being lance users, so make him an axe user. Sure, why not? In theory, that should make him better. I mean, it probably does, but he's still not good. Oh, I guess I just saw this on there. I should have mentioned on Nephany. She also comes with Wrath, which, as what you could see on Edward, is not exactly a reliable skill. 30% is just a pretty, is a very low activation threshold. So, anyway, so Braum, right now, for this chapter, is arguably better than Nephany. So he comes with an Iron Axe, which means he's doing less damage than her. Because, Steel Great Lance is way more powerful than Iron Axe, though you can get a Steel Axe from this house. I'll talk about the rest of the house items in a little bit, but basically, because she's weighed down by her lance, she doesn't really get to take advantage of her speed, and so he's only 1 speed point slower than her, but he also has quite a bit more defense, more HP, more strength, but as I mentioned, she does still hit harder because of the Great Lance, but also generally going to have more weapon accuracy. Biorhythm effects will probably overwhelm that 7-point difference, but I mean, he's using an Iron Axe which has 80 to hit, she's using a Great Lance which has 70 to hit. They have she has slightly more skill, luck, he has slightly more luck. Yeah, so I mean, he's a little bit more accurate, maybe not with the Steel Axe, but anyway, the point is, the important part is really the bulk, that Braum can stay in combat with enemies over multiple rounds without needing to heal better than Nephany can, and I'll talk about the implications of that in a little bit as well when I talk about this chapter. So the one other thing to mention about Braum right now is he has this disarm skill. Not super useful. I don't know what the activation rate is on that. I should look that up. But basically, it's in general, it's not at all relevant. But in this chapter specifically, after Heather shows up, it can be relevant. He can disarm an enemy, and she can come in and steal their weapon before they have the chance to re-equip it, because they will re-equip it on their turns. That's the only way that it can really matter. Okay, it's skill percent over 2, so it is very low. I assume it's rounded down, so 8%. And I have seen that happen. I don't know that I would expect to see it happen, but it's at least possible. Anyway, so like Nephany, Braum does have Part 3 availability, and is one of the more available units in Part 2. There's not really anybody who has high availability in Part 2, but some more than others. His growth rates, he's actually only got 5% more strength growth than Nephany at 40. 40% skill, 30% speed. So he is pretty fast to start out with for an armored unit. I mean, putting aside the fact that they're all fast in this game for whatever reason. But yeah, his speed growth is quite bad. 70 luck, 60 defense, 25 res. So basically, and 80 HP. Basically, the only growth rates that he has that are really any good are HP and luck and defense. Being an armored unit, and having pretty poor growth rates and not really being close to capping anything in particular, I think he's not especially trainable. If he had a high speed growth, he'd be fairly close to capping speed, and so then, you could turn that into use bonus experience to turn that into points and other stats. But I don't really I don't really see myself using him extensively. I mean, I'm sure I'll be using him during part two because you only have so many people to use anyway. You pretty much use everyone, but I don't really see him playing an important role beyond that. All right, so let's talk about this. Or well, and I guess as far as Nafini goes, yeah. I mean, I guess I already said I can see myself using her. I don't know that I expect to. I guess I don't expect to, but we'll, maybe. Anyway, so let's talk about this chapter. First of all, there's a bunch of houses, just 5 to be precise. They have a bunch of items. This has a Shara icon, aka Goddess icon, aka Luck +2. This has a steel axe. This has a javelin. I really wish like these two were swapped so I could get the javelin to Nefini faster. The javelin doesn't weigh her down, so she can start doubling with that. Of course, the might is much lower, but there's also a bunch of, well, a decent number of ranged enemies on here that she could use that to counterattack. And then this has a Spectre card, which is one of those like weird magic items for non-magic users that are basically completely useless. And this has like a concoction. Yeah, concoction. These are like the two of the easier houses to get because Heather shows up right here, but they're also like really not very relevant. This one is much more relevant and is also way more annoying to get to. Which brings me to the gimmick of this chapter, which is that you have these volunteers. You can see from their affiliation, they're volunteers, as opposed to like this guy who's a rebel, and the boss is his commander, whereas the boss is not this guy's commander for whatever reason. Also, more authority stars than Micaiah. Hey-o. Anyway, so the rebels, the volunteers, you get bonus experience for not killing them. Specifically, you get 200 per surviving volunteer. There are 4 of them. This guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, who's really annoying because he has a poison sword. You also get I should mention there's a 15 turn limit for the bonus experience turn count threshold, and that might seem generous, but between trying to avoid killing these guys if you do, and the fact that neither of your units double either of these bulky jerks here who are blocking the way, nor do they double the boss, who is even more bulky. He's got 20 defense. So, I mean, right now we're doing 7 and 9 damage to him. So 9 damage is a 5-hit KO, and 7 damage is a, 6-hit KO? Yeah. So, I mean, that's not great. Anyway, so it takes a while. And especially if you want to, visit the houses and pick up those items. You've also, got to recruit Heather, so she will move. She'll come up this way if you just leave her alone, I'm pretty sure. Which means you maybe don't want to go down this way because depending on the timing, she could run past you. But then again, getting through these guys takes a while, so it's annoying either way. So yeah, I mean this is actually one of my least favorite chapters. Probably my least favorite chapter in part 2. It's better than 1-9, but maybe there's a later chapter that I don't like as much, but I it's just it's really slow and plotting, and you just don't have a lot of options because you only have 2 characters, but there's a lot of enemies. It's a common thing in Fire Emblem games to have an early chapter where you only have 2 units, but they'll usually be 5 enemies. And there's this one, they've got 10 enemies, and then 4 enemies that you're not supposed to kill. And speaking of Nefni, the one way in which her Great Lance weighing her down is helpful is that I think she will actually double this guy. Yeah, so that guy she will double, but he has a ranged weapon. And she won't double this guy. So she can hit some of these guys, have them survive, and then they'll run away and heal. This guy has some healing, and this guy doesn't. And so that's the other thing is like if you want to get the javelin, like you either have to like lure this guy out potentially without killing him, or you have to like have Heather has passed, so you like send her up here and walk past him. The other annoying thing about these guys I forgot to mention is that they're super inconsistent with how their AI works. Like sometimes they attack, sometimes they don't. They are pretty consistent about running away and healing, I think. So the fact that they all have healing items, I think they all have healing items. Yeah. Well, this guy versus antitoxin, but like, all right, and this guy doesn't. But I mean, I think they will run away and heal, but they won't always attack when they can. So you can't necessarily rely on what they're going to do, because sometimes they will attack. And like, I mean, the Myrmidons don't really do enough damage for it to matter if they do, although the poison is annoying. But this guy can do enough damage to Nephany that it's actually a problem, but you don't necessarily know if he's going to attack. So the whole situation is just like quite potentially aggravating. And then you've got like guys with ranged weapons, this archer and this guy with the javelin. I mean, and this guy as well. He's one of the volunteers. And you know, they will, if you just like are like, oh, I just want to go like visit the houses and then like take these guys out and get through, then you'll get harassed by these guys and you can't counterattack them because you don't have any ranged weapons unless you go down here and get this javelin. It's just like, all right, but I think we're ready to begin here. So, what we want to do, I want to prioritize visiting these 3 houses. Pluck +2 isn't amazing, and it probably doesn't help anybody cap anything because luck, the luck caps tend to be very high. But even if I weren't to use it, it would be worth a lot of money. Like I said, I want to visit those 2 houses. This guy, if we can just let him run into us, and then after that he'll run away. So we don't necessarily need to go for this house this turn. So the question is, can we take out this guy with a javelin? And no, we're 2 damage short, so that's great. What I think I'm gonna do, let's see, because the problem is, Braum is better at taking the damage, but Nephany does enough damage to actually secure the kill in 2 hits. Like if I attack this guy with Braum and then attack him again, he's still not dead, so that's not really that helpful. Plus Braum wants the steel axe, so I think the other thing Braum wants to do is just stand in front of this guy and start trading blows with him and like start, weakening him. So yeah, I think we're gonna focus first on taking this guy out. Although actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's swing all the way around here so that we don't get hit by that archer, because Nephany can't take too much damage, or I don't want her to take too much damage. Let's say, whack. Hey, that's good. Alright, and then we'll go pick up the steel axe with Braum, and next turn we'll go up and start whacking away on that Armor Knight with Braum and the steel axe. Tink, awesome. This is less awesome. Oh. Okay, actually... Let's see, 27 attack, 3 attack. Yeah, so this guy is a more immediate threat. He does have a coin, which Heather could steal, but I don't know that I'm gonna worry too much about waiting for that. I assume Braum... Yeah, Braum does not get slowed down by the steel axe. But let's see. Yeah, so they could take out this archer, but their hit rates are really low. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, finish this guy off, or try to. All right. And yeah, the advantage of hitting this guy is that I can finish him off in one more hit from either Braum or Nephany. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Even though I would really like to get started hitting the Armor Knight. Okay, well he'll move out of the way to heal, I hope, so that I can visit the visit this thing probably next turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this. Awesome. And get started on whacking this guy. Now these guys I'm pretty sure all don't move. One thing that is alarming is this guy can like come in and like block your path. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, so like ideally I want to kill this guy like on player phase, and then like run Nephany past him or something. I don't know. Oh gosh. I guess I can't complain too much. I've already hit a bunch of like 60 to 70% shots. Alright, so now we're gonna unequip her Great Lance just to increase her dodge, since there's nobody we really need her to deal damage to anyway. Get that Ashera icon. I don't think Braum is in any real danger at this point. Yeah, not really. So, although, let's see. Might still make sense to heal him just because of the timing of like when he's going to deal enough damage to this guy. If he hits him now and then on enemy phase, he'll be ready to kill him. Next enemy phase. I'm just worried about this guy running in and blocking me. Which is like really annoying. I guess actually so next turn, let's see, hit him now, he retaliates. I kill him next player phase. And then I doubt Nephany can shove him. Or that I would want to, because then you get hit by these two. I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna heal. Tank. Alright, so that guy'll probably come back down and attack on the next turn. And that guy, yeah, missed because I unequipped the Great Lance. I obviously he would have hit if I hadn't done that, so great strategy. So potentially now, we can get out of range of this guy and just leave him sitting here for the rest of the map. Like, Nephany can move 7, he can only move 6. So I think that's what I'd like to do. Let's see. So what's going to happen down here is probably this guy's going to attack Heather, and then Heather's going to, like, attack him, or this priest, or something. I don't think I want her fighting this guy. Well, she doesn't do a lot of damage, I guess. 16 or 20. She would kill him with the Iron Dagger, assuming she doubles, which, yeah, she definitely does. Yeah, I don't want to put Nafini here and have this guy hit her with the Javelin. I'd also want to get her out of range of that guy, so it's either go here. Yeah, I think it's just go here. I think that's the solution. Is there any reason for her to equip her weapon? Is there any reason for her not to equip her weapon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, so she should... Wait, did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she should equip her weapon. Oh, actually, I don't want that guy blocking her right here, and then she has to go around. That'd be really annoying. I mean, I guess Braum could... I was gonna say Braum could move down and shove her, but then this guy won't be dead. Or will he? Wait, if I attack him now, then this guy potentially is going to come in and block me on any phase. Dang it! This is... Yeah, this choke point here is really obnoxious. That's the story. I mean, I guess what I could do is go ahead and let the Javelin attack her. Though in order to do that, I really need to go ahead and equip this, because I want this guy to get hit and then run away and not, like, you know, be harassing me. Yeah. Disarmed! I'm pretty sure he'll still attack Nefany. Whap whap. Yeah, this is why it's not a very good skill. It's like, unless you have somebody there to steal immediately, it just doesn't matter. Okay, so... Okay, so yeah, she is going to attack the priest and get anointed. Alright, so now... Finish that guy off. He got disarmed again, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't cause them to drop their weapon. If it did, like, that would be better. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Let's see. I don't really want her to take poison, but if I attack this guy, then I can... He'll run away. I don't have to worry that he'll attack Heather or, like, try to come be annoying over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess he probably wouldn't anyway. But I want to give Nefany access to run down here if I need to. Yeah. No! Oh, she's gonna go and finish the mage off. That's nice of her. Okay, so at this point, we can have Braum work his way towards the boss. And Nefany go recruit Heather. Alright, one thing I should have checked, oh good, I can zoom out enough to check it, is how far Heather can get here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, with a shove, she can get far enough to slip behind that guy next turn. So I will do that. And this guy has 9 defense, 20 attack, 11 twice, won't kill him. Although maybe we go for the non-crit weapon. That's probably wiser. dude. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, then now oh no, wait, I have passed. Right, haha. Okay. So then the question becomes, yeah. Let's see, get the javelin. So now the question becomes, do I care if this guy blows up these houses? I mean, mostly no, but it might still be better, like, to have them than to not. I mean, if I send Neffany up here, she can help kill the boss, so that's a reason to do that, and not worry about. I mean, all this is a concoction anyway. I don't think these guys move, actually. I want to say they don't, but I'm not positive. Yeah, so the question is, do I want to come over here and, like, hit this guy? I don't think they have any items of note. Yeah, because if they do move, I'm gonna want damage on the guy with the ranged weapon. Oh, he's got a coin. Huh. Well. I mean, in terms of the turn limit, I do have time to visit the house, so yeah, I'll go ahead and do that, I guess. Okay, and then, given that I'm gonna have less support in the immediate future, I'll go ahead and whack this guy. Tink. Tink. I think even if you disarm Yeardley, you're not gonna get his weapon, because Heather probably can't lift it. Wrath, crit! Oh, come on. Dang it, now I have to heal. Wrath's so good skill. But Heather can come steal this guy's coin, so that's something. I guess I don't need to block the village, but I guess I might as well, because get closer to swinging up and fighting the boss. Although if this guy, I mean, I guess if he attacks Heather or whatever, I'll just keep going, or visit this with Heather and then something. I don't know. Okay, so this guy moved off. Oh yeah, so 18. Yeah, she can't lift it. Oh, I should also get the javelin to Neffany. But... blech. Oh, okay. Boss moves too. That's not ideal. Disarmed! Wait, he's still holding his... Wait, oh no, he's not. Okay. Oh, I didn't know they could do that. Trade for the vulneraries that the... Oh. Oh, I didn't talk about Heather. I should do that. You can see right there how good her combat is. But yeah, I didn't know that they would trade for the volunteers' healing items. That's interesting. So yeah, let's talk about Heather. Heather is no Soth, both because the enemies in general in part two are tougher, and also because she actually does have overall worse stats than him. She may have a little bit more speed. I don't remember exactly how much speed Snow finished out part one with. He certainly didn't start with 25, but I would guess he finished with less than 25 as well. I think even Zahark probably did. So yeah, she's fast, but her strength is pretty low. It's definitely lower than Sylph's was to start. And like he had like 20 or 20ish straight, maybe a little bit, maybe 18 or 19 at the beginning, but by the end over 20. She's only got 15, and she is of course using knives and daggers, so that's not doing her any favors in terms of damage output. So she's mostly around to steal and open chests and that kind of thing, and to be a fog of war dispeller in the next chapter. But and she does a reasonable job of that. She's got the pass skill, so that definitely makes it easier to just have her run in and grab stuff. Beyond that, she's not really contributing. She's not really contributing in combat. I think in endgame, she can do a bit of chip damage, throwing knives down from above. But I mean, that's mostly it. So let's see. Wondering if what I should do is, let's see. She does do non-zero damage here with the, so I could trade. I could come over here, trade the javelin to Nephany, have her pick up the useless item here that maybe I can sell. And then this guy will still probably attack Heather, but this guy will attack Nephany, and I'll be done here, and I'll be able to start moving upwards. Meanwhile, oh, the javelin guy, oh, that's so annoying. I wasn't even, ugh. All right, I'm gonna actually move. No, well, if I didn't need to heal, this would be a nice turn to hit Yeardley for free, but I do need to heal. I'm gonna move over this way so that eventually I can park in a thicket that doesn't allow the enemies to also do the same. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and do... Oh, I don't think she has a healing item, so that could be a bit of an issue. I guess I'll grab the Vulnerary in exchange for the Javelin. Actually, wait, before I do that, 16 speed, 16 speed. So she will double with a Javelin. Let's see, Javelin has 7 might, so she's dropping to 22 attack. On this guy, 5, that's not even... it's not even worth it. Ugh. Alright. Ow. Disarmed him again, man. Jeez, Braum. However, is he at risk of dying from that Steel Great Lance? That would be really surprising and unfortunate. Huh, they didn't go after Heather. Interesting. Okay, well, if he was at risk, I don't know it. Oh, go away. Now, I wonder if he's going to run off and trade for... Oh, he was. Oh, man. All right. And I can't really do anything about that. That's just spectacular. Ugh. Other than maybe try to lure an enemy over to attack Heather. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm gonna move Nefni only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that she can retaliate against the bandits. Go ahead and move Heather to here in hopes that she lures somebody out. Just hope for the best here. Ow. Alright, that doesn't actually help. Oh, alright. Well, that's good and bad, I guess. Man. They are really making use of that vulnerary. Alright, I don't suppose... Oh my gosh, this has turned into a disaster. Actually, I guess... I could, like, have Braum trade for a vulnerary. He'd definitely be safe if he used a vulnerary. 16 and 8. That's almost enough to kill Nefany. Like, jeez. Or have him use the concoction, actually, would probably make more sense. It's not like 40, yeah. So if I put, like... Heather down here... Let's see, 10 defense... Or no, that's not what I need to check. I know she won't die to 1 attack. Will she die to 2? Or will she be able to kill 1 and then die to 2? So 20 attack... 3 and 4, no. I mean, not without critting at least. And even a crit on this guy wouldn't kill him. She'd need to crit twice. This guy, she would only need to crit once, but... I mean, I guess she might as well use a vulnerary, but... Yeah, I just wish I could get Braum there instead, but... I would like Nefany to use his herb, but I guess there's just, like, not really any good way to do that. Oh, well, I guess that what I could do is Heather uses a vulnerary, Nefany trades for it, shoves her 1 space down. Oh, no, then she can't actually use it. So that doesn't work. Okay. I guess I could just have her use the concoction. This seems like such a waste. Actually, how does she do with the javelin against these guys? I guess she could attack this guy. That would actually be pretty potentially useful, even if it just means he runs away. And if it means that the guy with the javelin attacks Braum instead, that also works for me. And Yudley doesn't even get to make an attack. Okay. Ow. Okay, so we should be able to kill the boss this turn. So the remaining question, they used up that vulnerary. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever seen that in this chapter before. Like, normally, I feel like I don't know. I don't remember this being a problem where, like, these guys are just, like, healing themselves over and over. I'm not a huge fan of that hit rate, but what are you gonna do? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's nothing for her to steal, right? We already got... and there's no way she can damage the boss, so it's gotta be... Let's see. I guess I might as well use the Iron Axe because... Actually, does it make more sense? Like, what happens if I do miss? Then I want to be... What position do I want to be in? Or is it even... I mean, it's possible that it's safer to actually, like... Well, not that. Okay. Two. Wait, is that actually enough? No. Damn. Ah, okay, so... Alright, I think... What's her hit rate with the Steel Lance? Or the Great Lance again? 79. And that's not terrible, but if she gets hit... I mean, I guess that's going to be just as much of a problem. Well, no, if I got the boss to within range where either one of them could finish him off, then it wouldn't be a problem. So, I do not want the boss attacking Heather, but I can solve that problem by actually running her down this way. Kind of like this. Oh, man. Damn. That would... Oh, the other thing is if the boss attacks Nephany while she has the javelin equipped, then that kind of ruins the intended plan. Oh, just to demonstrate, by the way, how bad this thing is, like, like, what is this even doing? I mean, maybe she can do a little bit more damage against the bandits. Yeah, I mean, like, what is the point of that? Anyway, I don't know, maybe on, like, normal mode or easy mode it's relevant because enemies have way less resistance or something. I don't know if that's true, I could guess that it might be, but... Okay, well, I mean, one option here, I guess, is have her toss the javelin at this guy, have Brahm come in and hit that guy to finish him off and trade her the Great Lands. That means the boss is probably going to move into the bushes, though, which is not really what I want. I mean, I guess I could do it from here as well. Actually, she probably can't even take an attack from the boss and from this guy out here with... Oh, no, wait, this guy is the guy the javelin. 8 and... 8, yeah, she still can. God. And this guy... I mean, I guess Braum is still not at risk of... 17 plus... Alright, well... yeah, I mean, if I were confident of a 79, I would just kill the boss with it. It'd certainly be nice to just do that, be done with this. I think, oh, man. I don't think Heather can put any relevant damage on these guys. I mean, she can do some damage to this guy. I don't know, it just seems like it's at least as dangerous not to kill the boss as to kill the boss, so let's just do this. That would have been a nice opportunity for disarm, but no. Alright. Here goes. Okay. Well, that was a lot of thought for very little actual consequence, but whatever. Okay, so that was chapter 2-1 in 13 turns. And then we get this nice cutscene of them, well, I guess it's not a cutscene, but whatever. Them, like, having mutilated but not actually killed a bunch of the locals. Oh, I guess for MVP purposes, I will say Nephany. I mean, I don't... Did Braum get any kills? I think he killed the armor, the one armor guy on in the choke point. Maybe, not sure. And we get to find out. Okay, yeah, I was thinking that might be the case. So we do get access to the base here. So let's real quick see if I'm right. But also right about the previous two as well, which I had not been able to see until now. So, huzzah! All right. That's all for now. See you next time for our first... no, I forgot about 1-9. Our second Fog of War chapter.